Yeah, I just want to begin by, shout out to the student section, shout out to Panther Power, shout out to the entire Panther Nation. That is by far the best student turnout we've ever had for an opening night game. We truly fed off their energy. I want to send out, my sincere gratitude and appreciation to administration, marketing, ticketing, for everything that they did to get this turnout that we had tonight. Yeah, this was awesome. I'm really happy that our guys got to play in front of that atmosphere, and they lived up to that. So, we're incredibly appreciative of that. I also want to take this time to talk about Houston Christian and their program. And they had a young man in Darius Lee, who is a great player and by all accounts a great young man, who had his life snatched away from him. And we used that as a lesson with our players this entire week. And life is not promised, and basketball absolutely is not promised. So we want to make sure appreciation is one of our core values. We want to make sure we appreciate these opportunities to come out here and play. We want to make sure we appreciate the opportunity to wake up every single morning, because life is not promised. And we will certainly be pulling for Houston Christian and their program all season long. We will certainly be thinking about Darius Lee and his family all season long as well.
Sure, I got one. So, Coach, it seemed like the Huskies were getting whatever they wanted in that first half, but then you guys came back in the second. What adjustments did you make to sort of limit their scoring, limit turnovers? I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, well, the truth hurts, and that truth hurt. They were getting whatever they wanted to start the game, and they were the aggressor. I think you saw a little bit of some first game jitters. I think we had some big eyes a little bit, and there's another side. There's some unintended consequences sometimes when you have a great turnout like we had, and I think our guys, having fans out there, we were just a half step slow. And in Division I basketball, you're a half step slow, shoot, you're going to be a whole step behind. And a whole step behind resulted in us being down 17 points pretty quickly. But we talk about the 3 R's, being ready, being relentless, and responding. And tonight you saw us respond. You saw us respond to being down 17. You saw us respond after we made our run. We didn't then let them come have a run right back. We really put our foot on the gas and kept it there. So I'm proud of that effort. I'm proud of that response. These guys were challenged by the coaching staff at halftime. More importantly, they challenged each other. And player-led teams have a chance to be championship teams. And you're seeing some of the beginnings of some player-led teams. And that's not that couldn't be represented any better by the fact that I have a fifth-year, super experienced senior up here with me to my left, and a first-year player with no experience here to my right. But these guys are both about the team. Neither one of these guys heard their name called to start at the beginning of the game. They didn't sulk. They didn't complain. They were ready when their name was called, and every time they stepped on the court, they lifted the level of play. And we played 11 guys tonight. We can have great depth. This can be the deepest team we've ever had, but only if we're bought into the team. And so far, so good. We've been bought into the team every day.
Thank you. Hey, Coach, talk about this man to your right, Sparkle. Talk about his game and his first career, college game. Just his energy he brought right out the gates.
Well, he's a dog. He's a winner. And he's a Miami kid. He's from down here. And this means something to him. Winning means something to him. Playing in front of family means something to him. And what's so special about him is he makes anyone around him his family. So I am incredibly proud of him. Both of these guys played to the point of exhaustion. They were both cramping up out there. They played through it. So I'm incredibly proud of him. And, we're going to get back to the drawing board and keep growing. Win, lose, or draw, the only thing that mattered tonight was that we grow.
I'll ask about also Denver's performance tonight, 23 points, efficient shooting. Just talk about his game and his leadership that he brought tonight.
Yeah, I believe he matched a career high as well. And he didn't start the game out in the best way, but he responded as well. And he was challenged by the staff. He was challenged by his teammates, and he answered that challenge. And that's what this game of basketball is all about. That's what life is all about. So very proud of him. We're we got a lot of guys that we got to recover physically, we got to recover emotionally, and get ready for Thursday's game.
Coach, I wanted to ask, what can you tell us about the second half where you kind of pulled through, tied the game, took the lead, and didn't really look back versus last season where it was kind of difficult to get a win at the closing minutes?
Yeah, it can be hard to get over that hump, and it can certainly be hard to get over that hump when you spot the team a 17-point lead, and we did that tonight, unfortunately. But what a great lesson to show our guys that we're never out of it. We have to keep honoring the process, and I told these guys, at halftime, we didn't do the things that we practice every single day. And I knew that once we got to being back to who we were, that we would make a run. And all credit to them. There was great leadership, great perseverance shown out there. And, you really saw some of those 3 R's, ready, relentless, and respond there in the second half.
John, being an upperclassman here with this group, what was some messaging like the upperclassmen kind of, in the first half and even the beginning of the second half, you guys were still clawing back. Just kind of, what was the message for you guys to kind of keep everybody composed, knowing you've been through these things and feel about that?
Just letting everybody know, stay together. Everybody stay together. We everybody lock in, and we can get this win. We was just letting everybody know, it's 2 halves of basketball. Of course, we didn't play our best half, first half, but it's all about how we respond in the second half, and that's what we did. We stayed together, stayed locked in, kept chipping away, and then once we seen that it got close, and then we took the lead and tied it up, it was a ball game. It was 0-0 then, and then at that point, it was about who wanted the most. And as you've seen, whoever wanted the most was going to win. So that's what we did. Came out, got the dub.
And Arturo, obviously this being your first collegiate game here, what was it like taking the floor tonight and just seeing fans out there cheering for you? Obviously your energy and tenacity on defense really helped spark things in the second half. What was tonight like for you, just overall?
I was I was excited. I had the goosebumps just seeing my family out in the crowd, seeing my friends. They didn't see me play over 2 years, so it was definitely excitement. It was fun, and I loved it. I loved the energy from the crowd. It was definitely fun.
And last one for you, Coach. Just talk about how resilient this group was tonight. I think we shot 18% from 3. We really like to shoot the 3 ball, but 58 bench points, 22 points off turnovers. Just really scored in a lot of ways and found things and worked in a lot of ways. Just talk about how resilient this group was and how they just didn't fold and they found other ways to get the jump.
Yeah, our resiliency is something that I'm really proud of. Again, we like to talk about it in terms of response and the ability to respond. That's the most. It's the greatest trait that you can have, is the ability to respond to good things that are happening and bad things that are happening. That's in basketball. That's in life. And, every time we step on this court, whether it's practice or a game, there are so many life lessons to be had. So I am proud of them. You mentioned it. We outscored their bench by 32 points. So that's depth. We outscored them in the paint by 32 points. So our 3 ball wasn't there tonight. We have much better shooters than what we showed tonight. But it's great to be able to get a win like that when we weren't shooting well and when they were shooting the cover off the ball, which is what they were doing. They made 12 threes, which we cannot allow to happen. 8 of them coming from one player, 6 of those 8 threes coming in the first half. But again, the one thing that I want to talk about with our style of play is when it's at its best, it has a cumulative effect on our opponents. And yeah, things felt great for Houston Christian there in the first half, and they were fresh and following their game plan. They had a great game plan. They were executing it. But as the game wore on, our depth became a factor, fatigue became a factor, and you see them go from shooting 47% from the field in the first half to shooting 31% from the field in the second half. 56% on 9 threes in the first half to 33% on 3 threes in the second half. And we ended up turning them over 21 times. And, they had a number of guys that really felt the fatigue. You saw guys cramping up, and that's not just the South Florida weather that's causing them to cramp up. That's, the intensity of the game. So.
Any more? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank y'all.
I gotta piss.
You gotta go. All right, y'all. Proud of y'all.
Thank you, Coach. I'll see you tomorrow.